So I just watched episode 1 of the Fallout TV show. And I thought I'd give you my thoughts and perspective on the show in the way that only I can. Now, in case you're wondering, I've played Fallout 1, 2, 3, never finished 4, Fallout New Vegas, and Fallout Tactics. So I have a general understanding of the IP and the lore. Now, in case you're wondering, how does this show deal and how faithful is it to the lore of the game? Oddly enough, there's a scene early in the episode that encapsulates this show's treatment of the lore of the game and the elements of the game. There's a scene they're having at the beginning of the episode. There's this kid having a birthday party, and there's all these kids and all their parents. And there's a scene where the mom is in the kitchen, takes a cake, and brings it into the living room. And as she goes into the living room, she passes by, oh shoot, what's it called? No, I'm already going to get tested. A Mr. Handy, I believe. I apologize if I got it wrong, but it's an automaton, a robot. I believe it's called a Mr. Handy. And as she passes by it, the Mr. Handy goes, "I'm here to serve," or "I'm here to help," or something like that. And I'm going, "No, you idiot! It's a little thing, but it encapsulates how this show is treating the lore of the show, because the Mr. Handy." Because he's in, I swear to God, it looked like he was in this case. And it's like, that's not what you're supposed to be doing. The Mr. Handy should be out, serving drinks or cleaning up. It should be doing something. But instead, it's just a prop in the show. And that's how this show treats the lore, as background. It was going, look, we got a Mr. Handy in the show, just like in the game. We're not actually doing anything with it. It's just background. But hey, we're showing you things that are in the game. That's how this show treats the lore. Are they faithful to the things that are in the game? Yes. The problem is they treat it as background, where it's not necessary or relevant unless the show wants it to. And the problem with that is, and the thing is, it's little things like just having the Mr. Handy just going around, the living room, serving drinks or something. That's the show going, oh yeah, a Mr. Handy. This is what it's for? Oh, okay, let's actually use it. It's as though the game went, okay, there's this robot called a Mr. Handy. Okay, we'll just have that in the show. So if you're wondering how this show is treating the lore, that scene is the best way I can encapsulate how this show is treating the lore. It's just background. Now, as for the story, you got 3 main characters. And, okay, we have Lucy. Okay, before we get to the characters, I have to talk about some of the stupid in this show, because I can't help but notice the stupid. I'm sorry, it's just so blatantly obvious. I don't know how anybody can miss this. The plot or the premise or the setup of this show, it's so forced. It's the show is going, we want this to happen, and damn it, it's gonna happen. So all of you watching, just accept it and just shut up and don't worry about it. The episode has Lucy is one of the characters, and she's in Vault 33, and and there's an adjoining vault, Vault 32, And there's this vault door that separates the two. Now, I honestly don't know if that's faithful to the game, but even if it wasn't, it really isn't that big a deal for me, in case you're wondering. How and why it's used, however, is a big deal. Because the point of why Lucy ends up going out into the world is because we end up finding out that raiders infiltrated Vault 32. And I'm going, how? And the show's like, we have no idea. We have no idea how we can establish that the raiders could have even infiltrated Vault 32. So we're not even going to discuss it. We're just going to ignore it. Just accept it, because otherwise we can't have the plot for this show. But the reason the raiders infiltrated, not only that, I'm going, okay, so wait a minute. If they were, because again, the reason the raiders infiltrated Vault 32 was so that they could get into Vault 33 to grab the overseer of Vault 33, which happens to be Lucy's father. And I'm thinking, well, if that's their plan, why didn't they just infiltrate Vault 33? Like, why did they go into Vault 32, infiltrate that so that they could go into Vault 33? Like, just infiltrate Vault 32. And the show's like, no, we have no way. We can't explain why they're doing it. We can't explain why they didn't do it, because we wanted it to do it this way, and we don't care how forced it is. We don't care how it doesn't make any sense. Just accept it so we can have the plot for this show. But the reason that the reason they have it is that Lucy is being traded for like Vault 32 is giving a breeder to Vault 33 in exchange for food and mechanical equipment. I can't remember exactly what. And I'm going, they've only been underground for 200 years. Because according to this show, it's been 200 years has gone by since the nuclear attack. And I'm going, and the show is trying, but it still doesn't make any sense. Because they keep having Lucy talk about all of her cousins and how because one of her cousins is in love with her and all that stuff. And I'm going, how many of the people in this Vault 33 are cousins and interrelated that you need a breeder from another vault after 200 years? How small is Vault 33? So the idea of this exchange in the first place is, again, forced and doesn't make any sense. But the reason they need to have this exchange is so that way the overseer of Vault 33 can open up the vault that joins the vault door that joins the two vaults, so that the raiders that have infiltrated Vault 32 can enter Vault 33 so that they can take the overseer. And you have a scene where the overseer of Vault 33 is in this one room and opening up the vault door that is connected to Vault 32. And I'm going, well, if the overseer in Vault 33 has access to opening the vault door that joins the two vaults, why wouldn't Vault 32 have that same ability to open the door to the adjoining vault? And the show's going, we have no reason. We have no explanation or justification because we want this damn scene. And we don't care if it doesn't make any sense. It's going to happen the way we want it to happen. So I'm going, okay, so let me see if I get this straight. The raiders wanted to get the overseer from Vault 33. So their plan was to somehow infiltrate Vault 32, take over, kill everybody, and then wait until Vault 33 decided to make a trade with them for a breeder so that they could enter Vault 33? How did they know that they were going to be, like, how did the Raiders know that that trade was going to happen in the first place? Or that they went down into Vault 32 so that they could tell Vault 33, we've lost all our grain and we need to open it up. Well, if that's the case, why did they wait until all the grain was dead? Like, how long were the Raiders in Vault 33 waiting for the opportunity to be able to make a trade with Vault 32? Again, this is just like it's stupid for the sake of lazy ass writing because it's easily fixed. Just have it, even if you don't explain how the Raiders were able to infiltrate for Vault 32. Just show the Raiders taking over Vault 32, killing everybody, going to the Overseer, grabbing the key, go to the room with the adjoining vault door, unlock the vault door, and have the Raiders enter Vault 33, and then just start killing people and grab the Overseer. Problem solved. Like that. How does that not work? No, apparently they have to bend backwards to make it so that they can focus on this wedding ceremony that isn't even relevant in the first place. It's just... That's the show, ladies and gentlemen. This is the show. It's being stupid for no reason because they're going, we want it to be this way, and we don't care how forced it is. We don't care how it doesn't make any sense. And we don't care all the stupid that's necessary. We're doing it this way. So sit down and shut up. Then we have, speaking of another stupid that I remember. With Lucy, the Raiders end up kidnapping the Overseer. And after Vault 33 settles down, there's a meeting, and Lucy goes, can we have like 4 people? We can spare 4 people to go look for my father. And they go, no, we're not going to do that. So Lucy takes it upon herself that she's going to go. Fine, not a problem. But as she's about to leave, I believe it's the cousin that's in love with her, goes, I want to go with you. I want to help you. And Lucy goes, no, I don't want anybody, sacrificing themselves on my account. And I went, bitch, 5 minutes ago, you were ready to sacrifice 4 people. And then when somebody actually decides to join you, you tell them no? Like this. Also, you can have this comedic, this attempt at a comedic scene of Lucy drugging the guy. It's like this. Lucy goes, I want 4 people to help me. Oh, I want 3 other people to help me go get my dad. And then when somebody actually volunteers to help her, she goes, nope, I don't want you to help me. Whatever. Oh, and then there's this one scene with here's the other thing about this show that I guess I should have started off with. It's a very bland, mediocre show. And I think the producers of this show know that. So to compensate, really good special effects, a lot of gratuitous violence that was absolutely really took on for too long. I'm not trying to be a prude or anything because again, there was that sex scene where they're in the honeymoon thing, and it was like, was it really necessary? But again, the violence scene was fine, but again, you could have done it without the wedding ceremony. You could have just had it. So, but again, the show is going to make up for how bland the show is. We're going to give you special effects, violence, and sex. That's what they're going to do. But there's a fight scene where one of the raiders is going, because I like the guy, I like the cousin that's in love with Lucy, because he has a really good line where a raider's about to kill him, and he goes, don't force me to have to use violence against you. That was funny. I liked that. It was pretty good. But the raider ends up taking a chem, like an inhaler. And now let's see, I'm guessing either Psycho or one of the other various chems that are in the game. So again, it's the show, referencing the chems that are in the game. But what screwed it up was that the cousin sees this and goes, "Oh no, he probably has, Psycho or something." And I'm going, wait a minute. How would this guy who's a vault dweller know anything about chems? Oops. The show forgot that part. Like, what should have happened is that, again, a little thing to add authenticity to the show. Not just, oh, look, we're showing chems in this show like in the game. It's how it's applied. Have the raider have the inhaler, and again, I can't remember all of the chems. All I can remember is Psycho, because I never used any of the chems when I played the game, because I didn't have to have these little cheats to win at the game. I could actually win playing Fallout games without having to use any of the chems. But when the show has the raider using the inhaler, the show should have had the cousin going, "The hell is that?" That would have been, and then when you see the raider go nuts and try and kill him, then it would have made sense. But again, it's like it's these little things to help add authenticity that the show doesn't even bother caring about. It's just, this is what we're doing. Look at the reference. It's background. That's what we're giving you. Then Lucy, leaves the vault, and we can't open the vault. Don't open the vault. All the radiation and all that stuff. They open the vault, and not only did they open the vault, but two of the people who didn't even want the vault door open, because you never open the door, they're there when the door opens and they don't even care. No big deal, because Lucy walks out, no problem. Again, a little thing. Just have, the Pip Boys don't even register any radiation level, like a little beeping or something on one of the instruments showing, oh my God, radiation level. They don't even bother because they don't care. So as far as the show was establishing, they open up the vault door into the outside world. No radiation. No radiation, no problem. So there's literally no reason not to go out and help. And now the show's established, yeah, all of you vault dwellers who are going, yeah, you can't leave the vault because of the radiation level. Yeah, we just established there is no radiation level and there's no problem. Like, this is, as for the characters, Lucy's okay so far. A tactic that they used with Lucy that I did like was that to establish that she was marriage material, the show had her explain all of her skills and abilities. And I liked it because they're going, these are her skills and abilities, but this is for why she's marriage material. But at the same time, is the show going, these are her skills and abilities and how they'll be relevant when she goes out into the outside world. So I like that. That was a good little thing. But again, the setup of Lucy is okay, but nothing interesting. Then we have Maximus, not a wannabe, but who's going to end up being, who wants to be a member of the Brotherhood of Steel. and he ends up becoming an apprentice. But here's an example of the show not really knowing what it's doing and not really caring. We start off, our introduction to Maximus is him being beaten up by a bunch of other people. And I'm like, okay, but why? And the show's going, we have no idea. And I'm going, well, show, I have to know why he's being beaten up so I can actually care why he was beaten up. And the show's going, we have no idea why he's beaten up. And you're supposed to care just because he was beaten up. The actual reasoning behind why he was beaten up is irrelevant. It's just the fact that he was beaten up that we're supposed to sympathize with him. And it's like lazy ass nothing writing. It's just, he got beat up. You're supposed to sympathize. That's where it ends. I'm sorry. I can't care about I can't care about Maximus being beaten up if you don't even bother explaining why. But then he ends up being an apprentice to a Brotherhood of Steel member. I don't remember there being apprentices in the game. I it may be part of the lore that I don't know about. But even if there is, I'm looking at it and I'm going, you don't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense for a Brotherhood of Steel member to have this unarmed guy with a giant backpack following him around. Like, his character doesn't make any sense. I don't know what the point of his character is, but again, it's just an introduction, but that's it. The other main character we get is the Ghoul. Now, because they're trying to add this cowboy-esque feel to this character, the only problem, the big problem I have with the Ghoul is this show, he's supposed to be a badass, but this show's portrayal of him being a badass is so weak and pathetic. It's like I'm watching and I'm going, okay, I know what you're trying to do, but it's not working, show. It's a bunch of people who have no idea what a badass is trying to establish somebody as a badass. And I'm going, just watch any of the old Clint Eastwood cowboy movies, because that's obviously who you're basing it on. Just actually watch and pay attention to those movies and how they portray that character, the character with the man with no name, and there's your idea. Better, or worse comes to worse, just watch John Wick, the first one anyway. You want to get an idea of how a gunslinger character can be a badass? Just watch John Wick. No, I know what they're trying to do with the Ghoul, but my God, did they suck at it. And now, the first episode is an intro to these three characters, so I'm not really going to trash how it's established. It's just that their introduction is really weak and lame. Other than Lucy, which they kind of put some effort into it, but the Maximus and the Ghoul are just weak-ass characters with so little effort put into them. Yeah, that's my thoughts and perspective of episode 1. I'll check out episode 2. Like I try to give at least 2-3 episodes, and if by the third episode it doesn't hook me, I don't give a rat's ass. Anyway, that's it for episode 1. I'm out of here. See ya.